What's up, everybody? Well, I'm out here on my truck today, and I'm going to do the biggest update to it that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm going to be installing a cold air intake kit on it. And there's the original under the hood. It just has a K&N drop-in filter as of now, which that's going to be pulled off in a few minutes and replaced with this. Yep, it's a Volant cold air intake that I got. Chose this over the K&N because, for one, it's in this nice little box right here, so you don't have to worry about hot air getting inside the engine and hampering performance and economy, which is actually one of the goals for why I wanted to put a cold air intake on it. Not just to increase performance and make it sound more loud and awesome, but my main goal for doing this is to try and increase fuel economy, because I've already got it breathing on the exhaust side since putting the Flowmaster Super 44s on. Now I'm going to do the intake side and make it breathe a little better. So let's go ahead and get to the install process. We're going to start off by taking off this old factory intake. Alright, let's get started by removing this. Now, you're going to first want to use a flathead to remove, to loosen the clamps right here on the intake. Right here by the mass airflow sensor, and also right up here on the throttle body. Now this one's going to be a little bit tricky to get. Now, one thing I would like to point out, the instructions paper tells you to take off this top part of the engine just to get to the screw on the throttle body, but I'm not going to do that, so I'll go ahead and loosen everything up and get back to you then. Also, what you're going to want to do is remove your mass airflow sensor connector right here, because you're going to reuse your sensor when you put it on the intake. Alright, now that the entire intake has been gutted, got everything out over here. The intake tube was kind of a pain to get off because I had to wiggle it off because this clamp was stubborn and wouldn't want to come loose. So, managed to get it off. I noticed on the intake, I never noticed that it has this little big giant plastic block connected to the tube that I'm convinced was supposed to restrict airflow, so it'll only make the factory numbers like the OEM recommends. And there's the box right over here. That came out easily. I decided to split it from right there. There's the original K&N drop-in filter that was in it. It served its purpose for the time that I own it. But now, let's go ahead and put this together. Another thing that was kind of a heartache is you had to pry this away, because this is actually where the factory intake was connected to. Right about there. That notch right there was connected right here. You actually had to pry that away in order to get the whole intake out. But now the next thing you're going to want to do is remove the factory tray for your factory box. It uses these 10mm bolts that hold it in place. I'll go ahead and take that off right now. See, got it right here. Now again, take this off. And once they're all free, out she comes. Wow, this thing is dirty. Now, you don't have to reuse the old bolts right here because the kit actually comes with some new bolts. And put everything together here. Alright, now first thing I'm doing is doing a little mock-up of the intake box. You will notice instead of 5 bolts holding down a battery tray, there's actually only 2 bolts that hold this down. Now you will notice there is a big, large hole right in the middle right here. This is for, so it'll get like a ram air effect basically. They also offer an optional snorkel kit that you can get that attaches to the bottom of this and runs down to the front right down here, which is one nice thing to have, which maybe I might get one of these days depending on how good it performs just in this configuration. Well, let's go ahead and tighten these down real quick. Alright, so one thing I learned to do before you go ahead and mock up the box down in the engine compartment is you're going to want to mount your mass airflow sensor to the end of the box. Now there's 2 pieces here. This is a larger piece that connects your filter, and this is the actual airflow sensor itself. Now it has these 2 Allen screws right here, and it comes with 2 gaskets, one that mounts right here and another on the inside right here. I got both those mounted up and the Allen screwed in, so now I can go ahead and mount it down in there and nothing will be in my way. So that's done and out of the way. Alright, the next thing is there's this little piece right here that connects onto this end of the intake tube that connects into your throttle body. Now there's a little section right here, that's this section inside here is supposed to sit in between this part of the intake tube. My little hack for doing this is turn this section inside out like that and then stick it right on there and let it fold into position. So I'll go ahead and do that right there, and just like that. And that way you can take one of your small or your largest clamp right here, stick it on the inside of here, and then, well, one thing I do like to do is make sure it's on the correct side. Come on. Like that. And you can just slide it onto your throttle body, just like so. Alright, after a bunch of wrestling, I was able to get it up to here. Now, putting the piece right here and connecting it to the throttle body was pretty much my hardest part because I actually had to fight it just to get it straight. And then you have to hook this rubber piece right here that connects by these 2 clamps right here. There's another clamp that goes right up here. But anyway, this is how it sits. Got to connect it up to the mass airflow sensor and then to the box. Screwed in the new 10mm bolts with new washers right down there. And now, the final touch. We put the intake, or excuse me, the air filter in, and then it'll be complete. Now I decided to go with the washable reusable filter because I've always liked that convenience. They do have a PowerCore dry air filter option for those of you who like that. So, but it's about, I'm thinking it's about, probably about $10-15 difference between this and the PowerCore. I was lucky enough to get this 30% $30 off Amazon. But anyway, let's go ahead and put the air filter on and show you the finished result. Alright, it's come this far. Now all you need to do is just screw down the little Phillips screws that hold the top cover on. and installation is complete. Now, what we'll do next is go inside the truck and fire it up to see how it sounds.
Time of the year.
Very nice. I haven't driven it yet, but already I can tell this intake just gave the exhaust a nice more throaty sound. Anyway, I'll have to see how it sounds when I go on the test drive. We're on the road. It's definitely sounding a lot throatier, or more throaty, I should say, as far as exhaust goes, because it's definitely a lot more audible inside the cab. I mean, it does have a little bit more of a drone even when it breaks 2,000 RPM, because it would never drone anymore when you break 2,000 with the stock intake. But I will say it's very responsive. It feels like it has much more power. So anyway, we'll get back when we get on the highway, show you how it's like then. Here we are getting onto the highway. Go ahead and punch it a bit. Definitely a lot throaty in sound. I can already say that I'm fairly impressed. There's just a little bit of more exhaust drone that I'm probably going to have to deal with, but either way, I still think it sounds great. So I hope you've enjoyed this how-to video and quick little test drive of the Volant intake install of my 2006 Chevrolet Silverado. This is going to go for the same for any of you Chevy or GMC truck people who owned the Chevy Silverados, GMC Sierras, Yukons, Chevy Tahoes, Suburbans, Avalanches, and even some Cadillac Escalades. All that carry the 4.8 liter V8 that this one has, the 5.3 liter V8 or the 6 liter V8. Hope this helps with your installation, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.